Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, dreamers and doers, fear. It is the invisible wall that stands between us and the life we want to live. It whispers in our ears, you can't do it. You're not ready. What if you fail? What will people think? Fear is powerful. But here's the truth. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is the compass. And learning to overcome fear is the key that unlocks your true potential. Think about it for a moment. How many dreams have been buried, not because they were impossible, but because someone was too afraid to try? How many songs were never sung? How many books were never written? How many businesses never started? How many journeys never begun? Simply because fear said no and the person believed it. I want you to understand this. Every single one of us feels fear. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not that one group has no fear. It's that they choose to act in spite of fear. Take the example of Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison standing against injustice. Do you think he never felt fear? Of course he did. But he once said, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Courage, my friends, is moving forward while fear walks beside you. Let's break this down. Fear has many faces. For some, it's the fear of failure. For others, it's the fear of rejection, of not being good enough, of being laughed at, of losing comfort. And then there's the fear of the unknown, the scariest of all. We humans love certainty, but growth, success, and transformation lie outside our comfort zone in the land of uncertainty. That's why fear shows up the moment you step towards something bigger. Here's the first truth I want you to remember. Fear is a sign you are growing. If you feel afraid, congratulations. You're alive, you're stretching, you're moving beyond the ordinary. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you are stepping into new territory. Now, let's talk about how to overcome it. 1, face it, don't run from it. Fear grows in the dark. The more you avoid it, the stronger it becomes. But when you face it, it begins to shrink. Think of a child scared of a shadow on the wall. From a distance, the shadow looks like a monster. But when you walk closer, you see it's just a tree branch outside the window. That's what fear is. It looks huge from afar, but when you confront it, you realize it's not as powerful as you thought. 2, shift your perspective. Fear often exaggerates the worst case scenario. But what if you flip the question? Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what if I succeed? Instead of, what will people think if I fall? Ask, what will people think if I rise? Fear focuses on loss. Courage focuses on possibility. 3, take small steps. You don't have to defeat fear in one giant leap. You conquer it step by step. Afraid of public speaking? Start by talking to a small group of friends. Afraid of starting a business? Begin with a small idea, test it, and grow from there. Each step weakens fear's grip and strengthens your confidence. 4, use fear as fuel. What if I told you fear can be your ally? The same energy that makes your heart race and your palms sweat can also sharpen your focus, heighten your awareness, and push you to prepare harder. Athletes, performers, leaders, they all feel fear. But instead of letting it paralyze them, they channel it into performance. 5, remember your why. When your why is strong enough, fear loses power. If your dream, your purpose, your mission burns deeply inside you, it will outweigh the fear standing in your way. Parents overcome fear to protect their children. Leaders overcome fear to protect their people. When the reason is bigger than the risk, courage takes over. Now, I want you to imagine something. Picture yourself 5 years from now, living the same life, not because you couldn't change, but because fear kept you from trying. How does that feel? Heavy, isn't it? Now imagine yourself 5 years from now, having faced the fear, having taken the leap, having tried even if you stumble. Which version of yourself would you rather meet? The truth is, regret is far more painful than failure. Failure teaches you. Fear tests you. But regret haunts you. Don't let fear write your story. Let me share a personal image with you. Fear is like a lion. When you hear it roar, your instinct is to run. But the moment you run, the lion chases. If instead you stand your ground, look it in the eye, and take a step forward, the lion often disappears because it was only ever in your mind. Fear, when unchallenged, is a prison. But when challenged, it becomes the path to freedom. History proves this over and over. The Wright brothers were afraid when they built the first airplane. Imagine the fear of crashing, but they dared. Rosa Parks was afraid when she refused to give up her seat. Imagine the fear of punishment, but she stood firm. Every act of progress in this world came from someone who said, I feel fear, but I will not let fear control me. So, how can you apply this in your own life? Today, not tomorrow. Start by identifying one thing you've been avoiding because of fear. Name it, write it down, then take one small action toward it. Call that person, send that email, share that idea, step onto that stage. Do it scared, but do it. Because here's the secret, the more you face fear, the weaker it becomes. The more you avoid it, the stronger it grows. Fear is like a muscle. You either feed it or you starve it. And courage, too, is a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. My friends, fear will never fully disappear, but neither does your strength. Fear may always knock at the door, but you don't have to let it in. You can acknowledge it, thank it for trying to protect you, and then move forward anyway. Overcoming fear is not about living without fear. It's about living beyond fear. It's about recognizing that the life you want, the dreams you hold, the future you imagine, all lie on the other side of that invisible wall. So, I ask you today, what would you do if you were not afraid? Who would you become? Where would you go? What dream would you chase? The world is waiting, not for someone fearless, but for someone brave enough to act despite their fear. Let that person be you. Dream boldly, act courageously, face fear and watch it crumble. Because when you overcome fear, you don't just change your life, you change the world. Thank you.